Andrey Rublev.
Rublev dominating, and the 22-year-old is in the quarterfinals.
A first ever ATP Tour level 500 title, who becomes a champion in Hamburg for the very first time. The remarkable year for Andrey Rublev goes on, a fourth title in 2020.
Well, that's coming earlier today from the ATP Tour, and we would like to echo the sentiments. Happy 23rd birthday to Andrey Rublev, who is having a renaissance season at just now 23 years old. 4 titles this year alone and into the top 10. Andrey Rublev is certainly representing well. Nico, this is somebody who a year ago was starting to make that rise in the ranks, but has exploded in 2020. And given the uncertainty of the year, he has taken full advantage of the opportunities in front of him. What do you remember about being 23 years old on tour trying to make a name for yourself?
I know you remember better than I do, but that was a while ago. But about Rublev, this is a guy I've been following because I know Fernando Vicente, his longtime coach for a long time, and he's always been a powerful player. He ran into some injuries, as you mentioned, in his back mainly. But this is a guy that you looked at his ranking inside the top 20 without a great result in a Grand Slam. Well, he got it in Roland Garros. Of course, you look at the titles. You had St. Petersburg. You have the Hamburg title right before Paris. And no wonder he pulled out of this week. He needs some rest, and he's in for bigger and better things. Expect a lot from this guy. He's a bruiser. He can punch it from the back of the court. He improved his second serve, which was his Achilles heel, and when he feels more comfortable ending up the points closer to the net, watch out. He's a mainstay in the top 10 in my book.
Well, Leif, this is a young player who's part of a Russian core on the men's side of 3 players in particular that really stand out. Medvedev, you've got Rublev, and of course Khachanov. All 3 of them kind of somewhat differing styles, but Rublev has kind of separated himself from the pack this year alone with his results.
Yeah, I mean, last year it was Daniil Medvedev who played so brilliantly at the U.S. Open. This year it's been Rublev. It's been an amazing coming together of all the qualities you need as a player: physical, mental, and suddenly having great success in the winner's circle. And you can see from October 2019, it was Rublev on the outside of the top 20. Now he's inside the top 10. Khachanov is the one who's been struggling this year and just hasn't really sort of found his identity as a player. What does he want to do on the tennis court? I think Medvedev and Rublev are a little more comfortable with the talents they possess and the things they want to do. But this is the new Russian troika after Safin and Davydenko and Yuzhny. They always seem to have guys together who, compete against each other. They sort of create that competitive friction that allows them to grow together, and that's what they've got. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, on Khachanov, he came in and overpowered a lot of people, and then people in the locker room started talking about how they could get into his forehand. I think that got to him a bit, lost a bit of confidence. Medvedev, such a quirky player, just strange to get through him. He's got all the tools, really good mover, but maybe a bit of a mental letdown when he had so much success. But Rublev, this is a guy that really can do it forehand, backhand. His first serve is huge. He's well coached. So I like the way he has come into this path. So I think he'll have an easier time maintaining that top position.
Certainly hits it big, and that has put himself in great position for the ATP Finals in just a few weeks, as only a few more events left, and Rublev right there in the final spots currently. Leif, this is a tight race for those final 2 spots. We've seen the 6 that have already claimed. Of course, Roger Federer won't be there. But Rublev and Schwartzman right there right now. Still a lot can happen.
Yeah, Rublev's up 250 in terms of points on Schwartzman, 400 on Berrettini approximately. So Schwartzman and Berrettini have a lot to go for in the next couple of weeks, including Vienna and the Masters Series event in Paris. How will that shake down? Rublev is not going to be handed this. He's going to have to earn it, because guys like Schwartzman, Berrettini, these guys know how to play, and they'll play well indoors, particularly the Masters Series event where the most points are on the line.
Come on, you got two bruisers, Rublev and Berrettini. You got to hand it to my man, Diego Schwartzman. He's the miracle man. What a player. What a story. I'm really pushing hard for him to get into those last 8.
I always root for the vertically challenged. I have to. It's just part of my DNA.